If you're a retired teacher, you might have thought about starting a tutoring business after you were done teaching, and the steps are just right there in front of you, but you're not sure how to put them in the right order. Well, you're in luck today because I'm going to break down how retired teachers can start a successful tutoring business without all of their time going back to work because you retired for a reason. Hi, my name is Molly, and I help teachers just like you start and grow your own tutoring business so you can have more freedom than you ever thought possible and more income coming in with that teacher paycheck. And today we're focusing on retired teachers, a group of my absolute favorite people. I actually grew up around teachers. My dad is a retired teacher, so I grew up in the high school that he taught in my entire childhood. So I'm very comfortable talking to teachers and retired teachers, plus this is my 11th year as a classroom teacher as well. So of course it comes very naturally to me. And I've had a few teachers reach out to me who are either recently retired or about to retire, and they've had questions about starting a tutoring business. So I thought, let's make a YouTube video and address all of those and get you set up for success so you can make some extra money in your retirement and you're not going to have to work a ton of hours because, like I said in the beginning, you retired for a reason and you don't want to spend all of your time working. You want to take the tiny joys from teaching, which are found in tutoring, and really maximize that time with the kids that you can tutor them and still get paid while also doing things you love to do, like your hobbies and spending time with your family and going on trips. Okay, so the first step to starting your tutoring business post retirement is figuring out what your tutoring niche is going to be. And I have a suspicion that this is going to be rather easy for you as a retired teacher because you likely figured out in your tenure as a teacher what you really like to teach. I always say this, that your niche is what you love to teach the most in the classroom. And usually the longer we stay in teaching, we've really got it figured out. Even if you're an elementary teacher like me, there's probably at least one or two subjects that are just your absolute favorite. And when you think of something that you would want to tutor in, a light bulb goes off and you can think of it. Take some time though. Really brainstorm if you're kind of stuck on this step. I recommend getting out a notepad and just giving yourself 10 minutes and writing down all the things that you loved in your teaching career. This could really help lead to your niche. The reason you need to niche down is just going to make it a lot easier on you as a tutor. You know, if you had 8 preps in a day, how much work that is versus 2 and you're repeating the same lessons over and over. So tutoring is going to be just like that. It's also easier down the road to get more clients because you've really honed in on what your specialty is, and you can provide a more exact solution to a problem a family has with their student and give them exactly what they need instead of just saying, oh, I tutor in everything. What do you need help with? It's just a lot easier to niche down, get better and better and better at what you are tutoring in over time. You're an experienced teacher. It's not going to be hard for you, but I encourage you to get this step figured out from the beginning. All right, next, you need to know your tutoring rate. This is what you're going to charge. And I know this part might be a little tricky because you're going to feel a little bit guilty at first about the rate. Most teachers that come to me do feel guilty about this. They feel like they should be tutoring kids for free or they should be tutoring for a really low cost. And your time is worth something, and so you have to remind yourself of that. I know you probably have an altruistic heart and you like helping kids, but you wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't looking to monetize a tutoring business versus doing it for free. Of course, if you want to do it for free, that's okay, but on my channel, I'm going to be teaching you how to make money doing it and how to build systems inside of a tutoring business that can actually lead to more things down the road. So figuring out your tutoring rate, this is a little bit up to you. I can't give you an exact algorithm or formula to figure it out. You have to kind of think about what maybe you were making teaching and go from there. It's likely going to be a little bit more though because you're working one-to-one in a very siloed environment. You get to focus deeply with one student versus however many kids you were used to having in your class. So figure out your tutoring rate. A lot of times it helps to figure out how many hours you actually have to tutor, and you can reverse engineer and work backwards. So let's say you know you have 10 hours a week to tutor you could potentially tutor 5 kids. That's a handful of kids. It's not too overwhelming. And each kid you're going to work with for 2 hours. So there you have the 10 hours. So you could figure out, okay, I would really like to make $800 a week. Then you can divide and figure out how much you're going to need to make that. So just do that to begin with and be really confident with your tutoring rate. I have lots of videos here on YouTube on how to figure that out and other parts of your tutoring business, but I wanted this video to be specifically for retired teachers because I know you are a group of people that often don't have this kind of format to go look up things that are specified just for you. And so I wanted you to have a video that you could go to and try to figure out how you're going to get started and also feel really celebrated in the fact that you made it through a career that was super hard at times and you did it. Okay, the next step, we got to get those tutoring clients. So you're going to email 10 potential clients. I know 10 might sound like a lot at first because if you go back to the last step and I said 5 would be a handful of kids, but not all 10 are going to need tutoring. So I like to recommend sending an email to 10 potential tutoring clients, people you already know, maybe kids in your neighborhood, family members, or just a network of people that you could send an email letting them know, hey, I've started a tutoring business. Here's what I'm going to help kids with. This is my availability. What interests you have in this? And getting feelers out there because likely if somebody's not interested, they're going to pass your email on. And you can even say that in the email. Would you please pass this email on to anybody that you think might be interested? And I think you're going to be surprised how many people actually return your email because most parents want a highly qualified teacher to tutor their kids. They don't want to take them to a tutoring company where it's a kid in college. No shade at those people, but you are a highly qualified teacher. They may or may not even be studying to be a teacher. They're just working there to make extra money. So they are looking for that. And they didn't know they needed you until they got that email. And it could be former students. There should be no issue with that because you're not working for the school anymore. But I would dive into that a little bit just to make sure. But if you haven't signed a contract, then I don't see what the potential issue could be. So send that email out. And then remember, if you don't get a response right away, give it a few days and then send a tap on the shoulder email just saying, hey, I know you're busy. You probably didn't get a chance to read my email, and just send it out again so that you are reminding them that you really want to work with their kids and you have great services to offer them. Okay, the next tip is I'm going to recommend that you slowly build your business. You don't want to feel overwhelmed in the beginning. So if that's just one client, let's say for the fall, great. You get to get really good at tutoring that one kid and building systems up. So if you're wanting to turn this into a real business, there's lots of steps that you could take and you could do them one bite-sized chunk at a time. Maybe you do want to get an LLC and this is going to be something that goes on your taxes because you anticipate making some money from this and you really want it to become a business. That could be a step you take this time when you're just tutoring 1 or 2 kids. So remember that building a business does take time, and if you're doing anything hastily, it's probably not going to turn out the way that you want it to. And there are so many little things you can accomplish just with the extra little bit of time that you have during the week in your tutoring business while you're not at a full capacity yet. Inside of Tutorpreneur Academy, that is my self-paced course where you can build your entire tutoring business from beginner all the way to advanced. Somebody that wants multiple streams of income, you can do that one little lesson at a time. Maybe you're out walking your dog, you pop your earbuds in and you're listening to it. Maybe after a tutoring session, you watch one lesson every week. So I'll leave that in the description box below. If you are a retired teacher who's very serious about getting started and wants to build a profitable business, I've worked with a lot of retired teachers inside of that course and I would love to have you join us inside of there. Okay, my last tip is to just have fun with building your business. Likely you enjoyed working with kids. Hopefully that's true. You were a teacher and you're missing that part of working with them. But what you're not missing is the stress and having the workload that you had. But with tutoring, you get to be the boss, you get to call all the shots, and now you're making more money per hour likely than you were teaching. And it's really satisfying to work with kids and know that you're making such a big difference. So just remember to have fun with it. Don't let yourself get burnt out. and you're the boss. You get to be in charge of the hours and everything that goes inside of a business. If you watch this video and you liked all of the tips and you want just a little bit more help getting your tutoring business completely set up, I have good news for you. I have a free 10-step guide, and you can download it right now when you go to the description box and print it off and fill out all the steps. And I'll walk you through the first 10 things you need to do to set up a profitable tutoring business and get your post-retirement plan on a roll so that you have extra money to go to Europe, travel, do all the things that you wanted to do when you were a teacher, but you didn't have time to do. And I have to say, thank you so much for what you did in the classroom. You made such a difference for so many lives of our students. And I mentioned it before, but I'm the child of a retired teacher, and I'm a classroom teacher myself. And I think teachers are the most amazing people on the planet, and none of us would be here without you. So thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Share it with a retired teacher friend who's looking to make a little bit extra money tutoring, and I'll see you next week.